roughly 200,000 years ago. Being a human was a brutal exercise in survival. You lived in a world of scarcity. If you found a patch of sweet, calorie-dense fruit, your brain released a powerful hit of dopamine, the do-it-again chemical. It was nature's way of saying, "This is good for you. Keep doing this so you don't starve." If you formed a strong social bond with your tribe, you got another hit of feel-good chemicals. Again, it was evolution's way of hardwiring you for cooperation, because isolation meant death. Dopamine, serotonin, endorphins. These were the biological rewards for successful survival. They were the stick-and-carrot system that guided us from the savannah to the stars. But then, humanity discovered something else. We discovered that we could bypass the system. We found substances that didn't just reward us for survival. They hacked the reward center entirely. When you take a drug, you aren't just getting a bit of reward. You are flooding your brain with a surge of neurotransmitters that exceeds anything that could naturally occur in the environment. It's like trying to power a light bulb with a lightning strike. Think about that for a second. We are walking around with a neurobiology designed for a world that no longer exists, a world where calories are hard to find and social safety is precarious. And we have introduced substances that convince the brain that it has achieved a level of success, survival, and social belonging that is literally impossible to reach in the real world. The brain is a pattern recognition machine. It notices the shortcut. It sees the massive flood of dopamine, and it screams a directive to the rest of the body. Whatever you just did, do it again, and ignore everything else. This is the tragedy of addiction. It is an evolutionary hijacking. The person isn't choosing to destroy their life. They are struggling against a hijacked biology. The drug has essentially rewritten the brain's hierarchy of needs. Where there used to be a balanced list, eat, sleep, connect, survive, there is now only one command: repeat the stimulus. What makes this even more unsettling is that we are the only species that has consistently and intentionally sought out these substances to alter our consciousness. Why? Perhaps it's a symptom of the very thing that makes us human: our dissatisfaction. We are a species that is constantly looking for the next thing, the next tool, the next territory, the next state of mind. We are so obsessed with transcending our current state that we are willing to break our own brains to get there. Some psychologists argue that addiction is often a response to isolation. The rat park experiment showed us that rats in enriched environments rarely touch drugged water, while isolated rats drink until they die. It suggests that if we don't get our dopamine from healthy human connection, we will seek it from a chemical surrogate. Addiction isn't just about the substance. It's about the void. It's about the desperate, frantic search for a sense of belonging or relief in a world that often feels indifferent. So why do humans use drugs? It's not just a moral failing, and it's not just a simple mistake. It is a collision between an ancient, survival-oriented brain and a modern world of chemical shortcuts. We are playing a game against our own biological wiring, and for millions of people, the house is winning. It forces us to ask a difficult question. If our brains are so easily tricked by these substances, what does that say about our free will? Are we really the masters of our own minds, or are we just following the chemical signals of an ancient, hungry, and easily exploited biological machine? The history of drug use is essentially the history of us trying to hack our own happiness and finding out the hard way that nature rarely gives us something for nothing. When you take the shortcut, you often find that the road you were supposed to be on has completely disappeared. But what do you think? Is addiction a failure of willpower? Or is it a predictable consequence of a species that is perpetually looking for a way to escape its own reality? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Until then, see you soon.